Yo, 1 second, really quick. I just want to say that like that joke reminded me of that Dave Chappelle joke when he was talking about that. I think it was like a couple in the front row, and the dude was Mexican, and the wife, like, or the chick was Asian, I believe, and like
Okay.
she got mad at this particular
Oh,
joke.
at the
Like he was saying, like, yo, all I'm saying is you're gonna have the hardest working baby in America. Like, that's one of the, that was one of my highlights, man. He has many, but that shit had me rolling.
Yo, David is and forever will be the GOAT, in my opinion. Congratulations to him. He owns his name again.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all saw that.
People rallied around for him. That's crazy, man.
That shows you what fame can really do.
Who else had done that aside from like Lupe in that way when they're like fighting a system of sorts, you know, or having like a dispute?
I don't think I've ever seen that before, particularly with Dave.
Yeah,
I think he got a cult following, and
it's impressive.
I think people realize that we need that. We need Dave in this society.
I agree. Even though I find it interesting that these last few gigs that he's put out, he's called them specials, in which I need to redefine how I see specials, because I'm like, because normally special to me, man, it's either half an hour, and it's comedy.
Yeah,
which they have been neither of those things.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I guess it's special in the sense that we got to see him.
Yeah, it's special every time you hear me tell a story.
Everything.
That's what he's doing. He's just telling his story.
Yeah, in which I still think he's genius in the way that he does it. Mm-hmm. Like how it always starts out very anecdotally of some larger theme to always bring it back to his situation.
Yeah,
he's good at that.
Yes, it's brilliant at that.
Because like, because it's exactly like you said, he'll start off telling this thing. I'm like, okay, where is this? This is all true, but where is this going? Mm-hmm. And then he figures out a way to like make it come around. It's like, okay, I see it now.
Sometimes I wonder if he even think that he's going off rail into the end. Like, let me bring this back around.
Yeah, dude. And then he just ends it like, or maybe I'll just take it. I was like, so good, dude.
That's what she said.
And she did. She followed through.
But yeah, man. It'll forever be a thing of while I love the craft of stand up and study that shit just because I love the science of it as much as I love the comedy in it. I don't know of any other comedian where something happens in life and I can take that back to a Dave reference so often.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only person I can think of like that.
You know,
we participated in an experiment and it's come out successful each time. It's crazy.
and it even when like the social zeitgeist has kind of caught on to it at this point, because now every time Ja Rule comes up, everybody brings up the Dave joke. Mm-hmm. But like it is that thing where, you know, something was just happening in conversation where I don't even want to bring up a
but
right now, but
you know what's crazy to me is it seemed like that has grown over time. Like for me, I watched like his show from the beginning, and I think we all like kind of seen his shows, the Chappelle show in particular. Mm-hmm. But like, I think, I guess with Netflix and whatever his stuff was on, like it kind of made his stuff have a resurgence or whatever. But I feel like those callbacks have only grown with time.
Absolutely. But it's really about those first two specials.
Yeah. That's why I became a fan. Like for me, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't love the show. I liked it, but I wasn't crazy about it. I've always been like his first two stand-up specials. That's what made me a huge fan of his. This creative storytelling is just like, it actually makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah. You know what? When he dropped them two Netflix specials, what was it? I remember the first one or one of them not being too good,
The very first one. The very
Okay.
first one of the new specials wasn't really
And
that
then
great.
he dropped a double album or whatever.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's when he took off. Like
Mhm.
everybody like had his name in their mouth, you know.
Because it was his original deal, if memory serves me correct, he had 3 specials for 60 mil or something like that.
And they were like shit that he had already done. They were just on the shelf.
Pretty much.
Crazy.
And then he threw that last one, Equanimity, in there just you know, like, hey,
Yeah.
we built a good one. We built a good relationship. Go ahead and have this fourth one.
Mhm.
But then Sticks and Stones came, and that was the closest thing to his original 2 specials for me of all of the ones that he made. All of the 5 that he's made in more recent times. Sticks and Stones was the closest thing as far as like gut-wrenching laughter. Not even say I think the first 2 are gut-wrenching laughter. I think Sticks and Stones is brilliant in its comedic perspective. But those first 2 are just ridiculously funny.
Yeah. Like it's him being him, but they're more silly, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Mhm.
But then his newer stuff is more like kind of makes you think like, dang, that's a really good point. And I like that though. I like that he's kind of changing the game because it's only a matter of time before we see young up and comers start doing that type, like where they're not necessarily trying to be super funny necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
They're just making like really good points that happen to be funny, kind of like that, or like maybe the laugh isn't the primary goal.
Isn't the point?
I think Carmichael does that.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Gerard Carmichael. I can get that. I also think he's a troll.
Yeah, he is. I can see that too. Like purposely, like just trying to stir
up shit.
Yeah, but in a good way though. Like I don't mind it. Yeah.
No, not at all. I fight tooth and nail for his sitcom all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, Dave's, man. He just like even when he's gone for years, he just has a way of staying irrelevant. His like
irrelevant
because he's been
relevant.
I said relevant. Yo, don't throw no IR in front of that, man.
No, we heard you say
let the video tell the truth.
Adam, please play this back.
Yeah, Dave's, man. He just like even when he's gone for years, he just has a way of staying irrelevant. Are we gonna have to hire a stenographer? What's going on? No, he's always been able to do that. Like
you said, just, unable.
It's impressive, man. No matter what, and like still hit you with some like with the truth. And in a way that like is tasteful. I feel like it's just easier to swallow for folks.
Yeah,
he set that precedent since the beginning. So.
Some folks, there's some people. There's a good portion of people that absolutely hate this man, but that's what makes his success so fascinating to me. Because if he was like a smaller name, like I hate the word cancel, but he would be semi-canceled. But like you can't to this dude. Like,
I never met that person. I never met this person.
Yeah, like I feel like that comes with comedians anyways. Somebody's gonna hate you.
I mean,
because you're like saying shit like that.
If memory serves me correct, a good portion of these people are the trans community or people who fight for the trans community.
Yeah.
Because some of the perspectives, and especially in that first special, I was like, this doesn't feel like a joke. It just feels a little bitter. But then he pulled it around in the whole Sticks and Stones things where I was like, okay, I think you could pull it back on board now. But I also think there are people out there, and we talked about this on the previous episode, who feel like their plight cannot be joked about, in which I have to fight for comedians because I'm just like,
I agree.
If you can make it witty enough, if it's a smart enough joke that isn't necessarily at your expense, the joke can ride.
But that's what makes it fair to talk about anybody else. The fact that everybody can get it. I think we talked about this. Like,
we did, and then we don't need to go into it, but it is that thing where I get that trans folks are marginalized people, and their plight is very valid. But the comparison, there was a compare. We're not unpacking this.
Yeah. Let's move right on into the check-ins.
It was like, that aside, we're just
We
gonna
don't
leave
want
that
them
completely
problems, bro.
just gonna dodge those bullets. And this, hey, in case anyone's like, hey man, I thought we was being forthright, vulnerable, and honest. This is a vulnerable moment to go, you should shut the fuck up.
Yeah, a lot of people, and I 100% believe in the freedom of speech, but the freedom of speech doesn't mean that you're free from consequence of what you said.
So I agree with that. For sure.
By all means, you can say whatever you want to, but just realize that people also have a right to react. And in this situation, before we put our foot in our mouths, we're gonna just move on.
Just move on. But and I want to say this, Adam, because I know it's been said plenty of other places, but we're just gonna reiterate it for our listeners. Freedom of speech has nothing to do with person-to-person interaction. Yeah. Freedom of speech means that the government can't fuck you up with some shit that you said. Meanwhile, Joe Smo Jenkins can immediately fuck you up.
You wish?
Yes. Yeah. You might get knocked the fuck out. Yeah,
because that doesn't apply to people. It applies to the government. So people who try to make that argument is like, yeah, you're stupid. You don't know the actual law.